252-3838.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Check weather.com from the Weather Channel, and you'll see it coming.
Still a mix of wet weather around New York City, including some sleet and some snow at times. A little freezing rain thrown in around New York City. You're looking at the same winter storm now that pounded the southeast and central plains throughout the weekend. Tonight it's dumping some sleet, freezing rain, and snow along the eastern seaboard. At Dulles International, we got 6 inches of snow just today alone. Now some Washington, D.C. area schools are even closed for Monday. Hello, welcome to Weather Center. I'm Paul Emick.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Schwartz. Now we're working on your Monday morning commute forecast, so hang in there. But first we begin on the East Coast, and Philadelphia is our first stop. That's where Mike Seidel is standing by live. Mike, it looks like the snow is over. Last time we saw you, you said it was sleeting there?
And in fact, Dave, right after we got off the air at 11 o'clock Eastern, we started seeing snow mixed in with the sleet. Now the snow is gone. We're back to sleet and freezing rain. So you name it, we've had it today. We started off with the snow around 4:30. We picked up a quick 3 inches of snow, and then we went to sleet around 6:30. Now by 7:30, it had gone to freezing rain, and then between 8:30 and 10:30, we went to just plain old rain, and the temperature came up to 34 degrees. That has helped and ease the melting situation. But now that we've shifted our wind back around to the west and northwest as the storm has gone by to our north off the Jersey coast, we've seen the rain go back to sleet and freezing rain. But whatever is falling now is just about the tail end of the system. As you'll show us on radar in just a few minutes, Dave, it's just about over. Let's show you how hard it was snowing earlier this evening around 5:30, 6 o'clock here in King of Prussia. We're in the western suburbs of Philadelphia, and we're talking about the biggest flakes you've ever seen, or about the size of silver dollars. Actually, when we get the big flakes, it's more than one flake. It's more than several flakes that have kind of stuck together with the temperatures getting warmer and warmer. And that's what we had for a couple of hours, and that's why we picked up a quick 3 inches of snowfall, but then it quickly changed over to sleet, and as I mentioned, freezing rain and rain. Let me show you what's happened. Now, we picked up 3 inches of snow earlier, as I've been telling you all evening, but the combination of the rain, the sleet, the freezing rain, and the warmer temperatures, we've seen melting and settling, and now we're down to about 1.5 inches of snow and sleet. So that 3 inches has now been diminished by about a factor of 2, down to about 1.5 inches. We've seen melting, and out here on the roadway here at this intersection, a lot of standing water and slush. So remember that in the morning. You're going to need extra time. These roads are not going to be in the best of shape. However, they could have been a lot worse had we started off with freezing rain and stayed with freezing rain. The DOT around here has done an excellent job. Now it's just kind of a cleanup operation. We've seen the plows go by now every now and then. Basically, what we're looking forward to tomorrow is sunshine. Temperatures in the mid-30s. We'll get a nice day of full sun, or at least partly cloudy skies, and that will really ease off the roads and get the slush off the roadways. And so the drive home tomorrow in Philadelphia and the metro area should be much better than to drive in. Dave, I know you're from Philadelphia and you've been through nights like this, but it's one of those nights where you just don't want to be outside.
It's going to be really heavy shoveling that stuff too, huh?
Yeah, let me show you real quick.
Yeah.
We got a few seconds here. Yeah, it's very heavy, slushy snow, and let me show you what happens here. The fact that it's been above freezing for a few hours makes it easier to shovel. We don't have that ice below it, but this, oh, boy, is this heavy. This has got a very high water content, very heavy, and as we always urge you on the Weather Channel, Dave, don't do it. Let some young kid come around and make a few bucks. But don't call me. I'm not in the business of shoveling snow tonight.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate it. Mike
Okay.
Seidel from the King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, where the temperature is above the freezing mark all across the Delaware Valley. And now the barometric pressure is rising and rising rapidly. Wind has switched around from east to northwest. So drier air is moving in at the surface, and you can see the precipitation now ending in Delaware County. That will move across the city. Montgomery and Bucks County, that precipitation will end. The rain will end in the next couple of hours. But further north, well, we've got problems. Here in Scranton, that snow is coming down hard. Hazleton, heavy snow. Allentown, a little sleet mixed with the snow. Binghamton, you've had 2 to 4 inches around town. Albany, the snow is just getting going. Here in New York City, the snow is over. It was snowing for a while. We had a dusting on the streets here as some folks were going out to dinner late this afternoon and this evening, and it was kind of nasty. The wind was blowing out of the northeast, still kind of windy, but the snow is over in New York City too. The same transition that Mike saw in Philadelphia has happened in New York. It's all rain, but unfortunately the temperature in the city is still at the freezing mark. So some icing is taking place right now, especially west of town into North Jersey. This temperature will come up above freezing. Then the precipitation will end in a couple of hours. Well, the precipitation won't end, but the winds will come around to westerly, and we'll get in on some drier air. Precipitation will be over in New York City by tomorrow morning, and I don't anticipate any problems other than what you'd normally expect when there's water on the roadways. Albany, though, heavy snow. We've seen the heaviest snow interior sections of the Northeast. Here in New Jersey, we got clipped earlier tonight, Caldwell, Newark, with some heavy snow back toward Sussex County, where 6 inches have been reported. All the heavy snow will remain inland. Snow briefly in Hartford and Providence, Stoughton, Mass, into Boston later tonight, changing over to rain toward morning. And here in Portland, it'll be a mixed bag of snow mixed with a little sleet and rain. Then it'll be out of here by midday tomorrow. Heaviest amounts of snow in the mountains from the Poconos through the Catskills, up through the Capital District, and right into Vermont and New Hampshire. That's a wrap on the Northeast. Here in the Midwest, things are quieting down after 3 to 5 inches of snow in southern Wisconsin. Some snow on the ground tonight in Chicago. We've got, 8 inches total from recent snowstorms. Light snow heading out of Indianapolis through Cincinnati, but a ½ an inch of snow max out of that. Then we dry out. Northwesterly winds all the way into Atlanta. The ice storm long since gone. And here in the west, well, that's our next storm to cross the country. Here's Paul with a look at that one.
That's right. The storm has a past and a present and a future. It's going to be a wet weather maker, even a wintry weather maker into the Four Corners, parts of Texas, then potentially even the southern U.S. as well. Now, it's a present state as a West Coast storm. Continues to give us a few showers. They're real heavy, just the dumping of the soaking rain took place this morning. Luckily, things are winding down just a little bit with it, and it's a way of more showers. We have some showers in Southern California and a few in the Northwest. Still more moisture streams in, just enough to give us a chance of some more showers, maybe a little better chance around San Francisco in the afternoon. Now, the interior west still pretty quiet, thanks to high pressure, a lot of stability around. A few snowflakes here and there at times around Winnemucca and also Elko, Nevada, and around even parts of Idaho, too. Toward Boise, might see some more flakes here. We'll break it down and kind of get a close-up vantage point here around L.A. Nothing happening toward San Diego, but around Oxnard and also toward Burbank and even at times around L.A. That's a little bit damp. Other places here and around downtown. Coming towards Santa Barbara, more rain persists. Now, San Francisco, we're sitting quiet, maybe a few sprinkles overnight, maybe a sprinkle or two in the morning, then more rainfall for the afternoon. Get on towards South Lake Tahoe. It's a snow story here. and making that drive along Interstate 80, for example, maybe heading that way or even heading toward Reno, maybe to slow it down just enough to reach that destination safely. Into Portland, we're seeing some rain. A few showers around Troutdale and even toward Hillsboro. Around Eugene this morning, we did see rain, but we also saw problems with it as a result of freezing temperatures. The rain was coming in. The temps between 8 and 10 were below freezing. Luckily, things have improved here quite a bit. Our temperature now at Eugene at 37, so even a few more sprinkles won't mess things up too bad. Around Seattle, it's a bit of a shower situation now, and some toward to Quileute, for example, seeing more rainfall here. The showers should be fairly light until we get a chance of more into the afternoon tomorrow. Heaviest amounts of rain between now and mid-morning. Along the coast of California, we could exceed a ½ inch. And don't be surprised to see some 6-inch amounts and easily 3 to 6 inches into portions of the Sierra Nevada. Here's how temperatures fare right now. 53 for San Francisco, 55 toward L.A. Good night, except for some clouds and a few sprinkles here and there. 49 into Vegas and a cool 24 now toward Denver. What's the morning look like? Looks a little wintry, parts of Colorado and also even Utah's Dixie, seeing the flakes fly. A brief break here along the coast, but a few more showers, but not the heavy dumping rain. Not really expecting that for most of the day. Well, that's the story of the western U.S., but across the Southland, you've got a cooler situation, not much in the way of the freezing conditions you once had, but along the front, that focusing mechanism, a few showers persist. Not much reported in Louisiana is making it to the ground, but you do have a few showers around Orlando, especially north of town, even at times around Daytona Beach, a bit damp, around Tampa and toward Ybor City, even around Brooksville. Light rain here should only amount to maybe a 1/10 of an inch, maybe just a smidgen more in some locations. Not a real heavy rain expected here between now and the mid-morning. Actual high temperatures for the day, quite warm toward Orlando, but a big contrast across that front. Look at that, 35 to Atlanta, 32 to Nashville. That did make a big difference. Cooling off now, 31 for Atlanta, 46 to Houston, 38 to Dallas. Kind of like the sound of that. 68 in Miami. That sounds pretty promising. For the morning, we'll keep it a little bit wet across the southern U.S. And a lot wintry, too, in the northeast. Let's look at our morning specifically. Area of low pressure continues to churn on. More rain coming in. Rainfall toward Boston. The western U.S., our snow is on the move. Eventually, Texas will see a portion of this. A little quieter in the midday as we get to the northeast. But look out, though. A little system here may bring us some snowflakes, at times around Cleveland, even toward Detroit. Heaviest amounts of snowfall there easily across the western U.S. Here's a look at a chilly overnight for our Monday morning, starting up there around Chicago. Temperatures in the teens. Cold morning for an early breakfast. I'd sleep in if you could. And there's temperatures in the 30s for highs around Chicago and Indy. So a cool day in place there, too.
You know, I can sleep in on Monday morning.
Yeah, you probably can. I can. I got to be back to work here again.
Well, coming up next, we'll see what kind of weather you'll have to drive through tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Work.
Yeah, good thing next in Travel Eyes after your local forecast.